The hike back was slow, the girls leaning on him for support. They were light, too light for their size, as if their bones were hollow. When they finally reached the cabin, Daniel set them down by the fire, fetched blankets, and filled cups with warm water. They drank cautiously, eyes darting across his home as though it were foreign. "I'm Daniel," he said, crouching nearby. "You don't have to be afraid." The silver-haired one touched her chest. "Lyra." She pointed at the other. "Kaelen." Kaelen only gave him a wary stare, golden eyes burning with suspicion. Over the next days they recovered. Daniel watched as their wounds sealed almost overnight, as their strength returned unnaturally fast. Lyra was gentle, curious, always asking about the simplest things. His tools, the kettle, even the ticking wall clock. Kaelen was fiery, guarded, often pacing the room like a caged predator. But no matter how much they tried to appear human, Daniel couldn't ignore the glimpses. Lyra's hands glowed faintly when she touched water. Kaelen's skin shimmered with a scale-like sheen under sunlight. And sometimes, when startled, he swore he heard the crackle of fire in Kaelen's throat, or the whisper of wings unfolding in the shadows. Finally, one evening, Lyra confessed. "We are Drakari," she said softly, her emerald eyes fixed on the flames in the hearth. "In your tongue. Dragonkin." Daniel blinked. "Dragons. Like the old myths." Lyra nodded. "Long ago, some of our kind lived here. Your ancestors remembered them as legends. Now we are hunted." "Hunted?" Daniel asked. Kaelen's voice was low, sharp. "By the Dominion. They seek to enslave our people. We fled, but they followed. They will not stop." Daniel leaned back, exhaling slowly. He had wanted peace, a quiet life away from war. But now 2 dragon girls were sitting in his cabin, and their enemies were coming. The hunters. It didn't take long. 3 nights later, while Daniel was splitting firewood, the forest came alive with red lights. A hum, mechanical and menacing, filled the air. Kaelen stiffened, her golden eyes flashing. "They found us." Figures emerged from the trees, soldiers in dark armor, weapons glowing with searing energy. Their leader raised a hand. "Return the fugitives. This world is under Dominion authority. Do not resist." Daniel stepped forward, rifle in hand. "They're under my roof. You want them. You'll have to go through me." The soldier's weapon shifted toward him. "Then you will die first." But before the shot could fire, Kaelen roared. Her body erupted in black flame, scales rippling across her skin as wings burst from her back. She grew, transforming into a dragon of obsidian and gold, fire spilling from her jaws. Lyra followed, her form igniting in silver-white light, wings unfurling like sails of moonlight. Daniel stumbled back in awe as the 2 dragon girls took the sky. The Dominion soldiers fought hard, their energy weapons lashing the air, but Kaelen and Lyra were storms incarnate. Fire and wind tore through the clearing. Trees burned, soldiers scattered. Daniel fired his rifle alongside them, taking down any who slipped past the onslaught. But the enemy was relentless. A blast struck Kaelen, sending her crashing to the ground in human form, blood on her lips. Lyra shrieked, shielding her sister with glowing wings. Daniel ran to them, standing firm with his rifle. "You want them," he growled. "You'll have to kill me first." The Dominion advanced. Lyra's emerald eyes burned with fury. She unleashed a wave of silver fire, engulfing the soldiers in a searing blaze. When the smoke cleared, silence returned to the forest. Wounds and revelations. Kaelen lay pale and trembling, her strength nearly gone. Lyra wept quietly as she pressed glowing hands against her sister's wounds. "She will live," Lyra whispered. "But the Dominion will return. Stronger." Daniel looked between them, torn. He wanted them safe, but he knew his cabin was no fortress. "What are you going to do?" Lyra's gaze lifted to his, filled with sorrow and determination. "We must find others of our kind. Unite. Fight back. Alone we will fall. But together, we can reclaim the skies." Daniel hesitated. His cabin had been his sanctuary, his escape from war. But as he looked at the sisters, one wounded yet unbroken, the other fierce despite her fear, he realized solitude was no longer enough. "I'll come with you," he said. "If you'll have me." Kaelen's eyes opened weakly, a faint smirk tugging at her lips. "You're mad, human. But brave." Lyra smiled through her tears. "Then we are not alone." The flight. At dawn, they stood by the wreckage of the fallen craft. Lyra's wings shimmered in the golden light. Kaelen, though weak, forced her own to unfurl, black and powerful against the sky. Daniel had no wings, no fire. But he had resolve. The sisters lifted him between them, carrying him into the clouds. Below, the cabin shrank until it was just a memory. Ahead, the horizon stretched wide, filled with peril and promise. For the first time in years, Daniel felt alive. The Dominion thought they could hunt dragons. They had no idea what storm was coming. And so began the story of one man and two dragon girls, bound by fate, ready to fight a war that would shake worlds.